Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Capricorntigress of Astrology looking inside. And it is out. It's Saturday night. Another Saturday night. Another Saturday night. And I ain't got no life. But I got you guys. I got whoever is going to hear this eventually. And so I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to share the word that I have. So let me do this. Hold on. I'm just going to cut this down just a little bit and make sure you can hear me. Although I like that jam though, right? So let me just get it down a little bit. So this is Adrienne, Capricorntigress of Astrology Look Inside, and it's Saturday Night Live. And we're going to talk a little bit about where the planets are, specifically about the moon in Gemini. And I had talked about where the planets were and how they affected the signs, but I had it inverted. I don't know where I did this, but I did it somewhere because I remember recording it. And I had the signs and the houses inverted. So we're going to go through tonight, and I'm going to tell each of the signs how I think it might affect them due to where this new moon in Gemini is going to occur. Now, I have to tell you, one of the reasons I'm not live tonight and flamboyant like I usually am is that the moon is, it's low. Gosh, according to this, we're just a few days away from this new moon. We are just a few days away. It comes on the 30th, and we're at the 28th, so we're right there. The sun right now is at 7 degrees of Gemini, so it's gearing up, to make that conjunction to the moon, and so we're almost there. I can feel it. The moon right now is at 22 degrees of Taurus. And that's why you are looking at me right now, because I'm like, girlfriend is not showing herself. No, and no. And let me tell you something. I did something that was crazy, and it's so indicative of what is happening. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might find that I did what I call some kiss readings. Keep it simple, and because they're so simple. So simple. In fact, I did all of the readings, no makeup, in my skivvies. No hair done. I had a hat on, no makeup. I just had on some lip gloss. And I did all the readings for all the signs. So you can find them on Instagram.com at Astrology Look Inside. And you can find me with no filter, no makeup, no nothing, okay? Just me, and me serving you. Because I don't want people to think I'm so caught up in the way I look that I don't have time to serve you. And yeah, I get a little glamorous. I got Neptune on the midheaven. I like everything to look a little fantastical. I like the fantasy. I love the fantasy. And I also have Venus in the 10th house and my sun on the ascendant. Even when I don't want the fantasy, it'll make it happen. So, and that's why I chose this photo right here. I mean, it's me. I know I took the picture, but it certainly is way more beautiful than I look when I have nothing on and look like I'm in a paper bag. So I wanted to talk about that because what is happening is that the emphasis is in my 4th house. And the 4th house is where it's very low. The planets are very low under the horizon, where you might just be wearing a paper bag. You don't really want people to see you. And it really isn't like, I want to come out and shine in a spotlight. And if you do come out, you probably would come out like me. No makeup, the hair's not done, got your skivvies on. And right now the moon is on my moon in the 4th house. And I'm so grateful to be able to come here and talk with you guys, even though I am not showing my actual self. So, we've got the moon at 22 degrees. We got Mercury in Taurus at 27 degrees. We got Venus in Taurus at 0 degrees. We got Uranus in Taurus at 16 degrees. We got the North Node in Taurus at 22 degrees on the moon right now. My gosh, you guys, we got a stellium. We got a big old stellium going on right now. I mean, and so Taurus. So I am really looking forward to this new moon in Gemini, because I feel like it's going to pull people out of that stubborn, we're stuck in the mud feeling. I can tell there's a lot of stubbornness going on. There's a lot of stuck in the mud going on. There's people just digging in their heels, in the, not moving, not budging, not giving, not compromising, because Taurus doesn't like to compromise. There are some people who are holding on to their material wealth, their possessions, what they have, looking good, feeling good, in spite of what's going on in the world. So there's a lot of that going on. So we have to experience this. And I think right now with the moon on the North Node, we might be experiencing it. Mercury is retrograding, and it's going to kind of goes forward on the 1st. So we got about 2 or 3 more days, or it might be the 2nd. I think it goes direct the 2nd or 4th, either the 2nd or 4th. But we're in the shadow of it until I think the 11th or 17th. So again, be careful about making the decisions with Mercury retrograding into Taurus. I have a feeling that some contracts, agreements that have already been made have been stalled. I sense this stalling action going on, maybe from both sides, but just stalwalling on a lot of things. What they call it, stonewalling, right? Yeah, just not budging. And because Taurus is a fixed sign. Now, the good thing is that, like I said, we're about to move out of that Taurian vibe and really start to move toward Gemini. And this new moon in Gemini really is that moment when the change begins. And we begin to lighten up, because, man, it has certainly been heavy. I mean, heavy. And it's time for that to start to ease up a little bit. So as these planets start to get out of Taurus and go into Gemini, it's going to be a little bit easier for us. But I think right now, probably today, I thought it's Memorial Day, I just feel a lot of stick in the mudness, really. I think a lot of people just stopped in their tracks over the last few days because the news has been so horrifically bad. I think it really affected a lot of people. Now, one of the things I think that's been going on, why it's been so horrifically bad, Mars is sitting on Jupiter. Yeah! At 3 degrees of Aries. Talk about fire and brimstone. No wonder we had gun violence and wars and arguments and battles. And I mean, it's just horrific. Mars and Jupiter are not meant to be conjunct. It's not a good idea. And really, the sun is kind of supporting it because it's sextile, both Mars and Jupiter at 3 degrees even right now. So it's been really supported. And I hate to say this, but I really think it's why we saw a resurgence in gun violence. I've got to say it, you guys. That Mars-Jupiter conjunction is gun violence. It is what it is. We got to be realistic with this stuff. It is what it is. And technically, Pluto is sextile it. Because Pluto, although in Capricorn at 28 degrees and 24 minutes, is really only 2 degrees from being in Aquarius. And it's 5 degrees away, less than 5 degrees away from both. It's 4 degrees away. It's a conjunction, or excuse me, a sextile. It's making an aspect to both Mars and Jupiter. It's supporting it. So be careful. Don't get into arguments. Some people may be more aggressive than normal. I would avoid arguments. I would avoid fights. I would avoid confrontations. I mean, it might start out as fun and then it just denigrates down into something that's scary. So be careful. People are not in their right mind. When Mars is conjoined Jupiter and Mars is at home, are you kidding me? Mars is at home in the midst of its own party. This is not the only gun violence you're going to hear about, okay, people? Let's keep it real. That's what Mars and Aries is all about, is the violence. So hold on to your hats, because it's going to get a little bumpy. It's going to be a little violent. At least it has been. It might get a little better. I don't know. Like I said, the sun's supporting it. It's just letting it go. And when it gets into Cancer, then it's going to square it. And hopefully it will move out of position. So look, I'm not going to harp on it too much. I'm just going to say, keep your guns locked away. Avoid going to places with lots of guns. Oh, it's Memorial Day weekend. Be careful. You just realize that. My God. Be careful, you guys. Also, be careful with driving. I know the holidays are known for the accidents. And I'm telling you, with Mars conjoined Jupiter, careful. Okay, I'm just going to say that because, you know, like I said, the sun is Gemini. Gemini is the natural third house, you know, driving, transportation. Third house. Okay, so, okay, let me get myself together because I just saw accidents in my mind. And I don't like it when I see stuff like that. Okay, so moving on. Saturn's at 25 degrees of Aquarius. 25 degrees of Aquarius. And yes, it is square Mercury. So Saturn, oh gosh, back to the argument. Like, I don't even turn on the news at all. I have kept the news off for at least a week, maybe two, since Mercury's been retrograde, right? No. And Saturn is not supporting anything that's coming from Mercury right now. I mean, it could be that it's just coming out from the conservatives versus the progressives. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. I just know that there are things being said that Saturn's like, stop. Stop, drop, and roll. It's not going down. There's some stuff being said out there. Watch what you're listening to. I'm not including myself, but Mercury's retrograde. Okay, so there's some stuff going on that shouldn't be going on. I don't think. I'm just saying. Things being said that might be regretted. Regret. Such a reword, such a retrograde word. Things being said that might be regretted later because you said it, but you really didn't mean it, or, you know, that kind of thing. Be careful of that. As I mentioned, Uranus is at 16 degrees of Taurus. We've got Neptune at 25 degrees of Pisces. And that's sextile, you know, all of the stars, basically. It's sextiling Taurus. It's sextiling Pluto and Capricorn. I mean, Neptune is good in the hood where it is. It's in the middle of lots of sextiles. And it's actually, I think, the one area of the chart that shows imagination and hope. So no matter what's going on, no matter how much violence you see experience, don't let go of that hope. That's what Neptune in Pisces means anyway. Okay? Stay hopeful and keep your dreams alive, no matter who tries to crush them. And I don't really see anyone coming to do that. I think this might be a good time because it's sextiled on both sides. I really feel like this might be a really creative time. And maybe that's how you'll be able to get through some of the negativity out there, is by being creative, doing things that really make your soul feel better, that make your soul feel as though you're doing something valuable, creative value. Write poetry, music, songs of your singer, dancing, acting, anything. Just make sure you're getting out that creative outlet, because I feel like we're blessed to have it. That beautiful sextile on each side of there. No opposition. It's beautiful. And finally, we've got, I talked about the North Node being on the moon right now at 22 degrees. And we got Chiron at 15 degrees of Aries. That is actually square my own sun in ascendant right now. So that's why I'm not showing myself. I told you I'd let y'all know, like, I wasn't going to show myself. And nothing was going to make me do it. I'm serious. Not doing it, okay? So look, I'm going to talk about where the planets are. Well, we just talked about where the planets are. And by the way, thank you for listening to Where the Planets Are. Now we're going to talk about where, how the signs might be affected by this moon in Gemini, because the first one I did was inverted, and now I want to do it the right way. So I don't know what I was thinking. So right now we've got a couple of things going on. So let me tell you what's happening. We've got, I'm going to start with Gemini. Okay, so that's how we'll do this. We'll start with Gemini. And Gemini, I feel like the way this would affect you or could affect you is basically it's affecting yourself. I mean, you could be very emotional. I mean, it's new. So I feel like also you've got this opportunity to do something new, to achieve something new, to do things in a different way. Maybe do something for you in a different way, since it's affecting you physically. So it's your moon. You might find that you're retaining water that way, because a lot of times when the moon is going through the solar first house, the person starts retaining water. So be careful of that. But do make sure you are hydrated, because sometimes Geminis tend to go without water too much. Also, you know, but if you're getting a little swollen face or something like that, don't let it panic you. I guess that's the point I want to make. The other thing is that, you know, watch out for arguments and stay positive. It's really important that you stay positive during this time, because it's the temptation to perhaps get into disagreements, arguments, confrontations with others, because the moon makes us more sensitive and we pick up things. And Gemini gets nervous, and they got a little nervous tension, and then they start talking, and then the conversations go, and then it just kind of runs out of, you know, it gets out of hand. So just watch out for that, Gemini, because we want it to stay positive. Geminis are usually positive anyway, but that communication, that could always get to Gemini. And so whatever you can do to avoid that. Cancer, this would be happening for you. Gemini is actually in your 12th house. So it would be affecting the hidden things in your life. Maybe when you're asleep. I always feel like the 12th house is hidden things, but it's also like our sleep. It's our dreams. It's the things that come to us when we're in our subconscious mode, what they call the theta state. If you are in that theta state, and meditating and praying can take you there sometimes, but if you can get into that state, then maybe you can pull yourself out of what negativity that could come. I think what concerns me though, with this Taurus, with Gemini, Gemini is in your second house. I'm so sorry. This is why I'm frustrated with myself, because I'm half asleep. So sorry about that, Taurus. Gemini is in your second house, okay? And so this is affecting your money. And I just had to recant that, because I realized when I was talking, I'm like, wait. Gemini falls in Taurus's second house, okay? So it would be in your second house. It's affecting your second house. And so it's affecting your money and what you own and what you have. Now, this might affect things that you might buy. So I would be careful with buying things, emotional buying, like buying things emotionally. So watch your money that way, and also getting into arguments and disputes over money. I would watch that, okay? So that's the one thing. I will say this, the next sign I wanted to do is I did Taurus, right? Gemini, I got them here in the first house. I'm just trying to get these done so I don't get them wrong. So I was right, I think, with Cancer. Cancer, Gemini is in your 12th house. So Cancer was right. It's in Cancer's 12th house. Um, Gemini, it's in your first house. Taurus, it's in your second house. Okay. All right. So wanted to make sure I had those done. So let's talk about where it would fall for the sign of Leo. Leo, it would happen in your 11th house. So Leo, Gemini rules the area in your chart that rules friends, um, groups, clubs, associations, hopes, dreams, and wishes. I mean, you could actually put out a kind of like an SOS for your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, what you want to happen. And maybe that will actually start to happen for you because Leo and Gemini are sextile each other. So it's a positive experience for you in general between Leo and Gemini. The only concern I have for Leo is the fact that there are so many Taurus planets right now. And so that Taurus makes a square to Leo. And so you might feel that heaviness coming to you from Taurus, that stick in the mudness coming to you. So just be aware of that. I would use my connections in the 11th house. I mean, go to your friends, the groups, the clubs, the associations, get out and about. Don't let yourself get stuck in the mud feeling, okay? So Leo, that's my advice to you. Next, I'm going to do the sign of Virgo. Virgo. Now, Virgo, this is affecting your 11th, your 10th house. And that means Gemini is up in the area of your career and your image, like what people see. So the moon and the sun are going to be there in your career sector. I think some Virgos are really going to shine in their career. I mean, at least the emphasis is going to be there. There could be some communication, some talk. You might be doing something publicly where you're speaking, or where I just see like a beacon of light in your 10th house, Virgo. That's where the emphasis is. Now, I do sense that you guys are also learning a lot, maybe learning new skills. I don't know, because there's a lot of Taurus in your 9th house. So you've got this 9th house and 10th house emphasis. Some Virgos might be traveling, or if not traveling, just learning new things. But that career sector, whatever you learn, I hope it helps you to improve your career, because your career is definitely highlighted. And I'm going to tell you the same as I've been telling everyone. Watch the words. Make sure what you say doesn't cause an emotional upheaval or something of that matter. And if you're the boss, remember, speak as a boss, because the words that you say as a boss could affect others emotionally. Okay? All right, Virgo. So next we're going to talk to the sign of Libra. Libra, this emphasis is happening in your 9th house, So this could affect Libra's like travel. I'm just trying to think here. I mean, Gemini, travel. It could be education. You're another one, could be learning stuff. But it also could be the law. I mean, politics might be really, really playing a role in your life. I don't know if it's politics or religion or a combination of both. Or even having to do something where you have to go into court, or I don't know. I just sense, because it's 9th house. That's kind of the legal system. But it's also policing, it's travel, it's foreigners, it's foreign education. All of that could be playing a role in the life of Libra right now. And one of the things that I've read a long time ago that might actually be playing a role in things for Libra is the fact that the ninth house also rules your in-laws. So if you're married, Libra, you might be having some kind of something with your in-laws. That could be something that comes up as well. Okay. And for you, all that Taurus would be falling in your eighth house. That's money with all that Taurus there. I don't know if Libras are making money or got their eye on money or looking at their partner's money or something of that nature, but money might be a focus during this time because of so much Taurus emphasis in the eighth house. So keep your eye on that, all right? Next, we're going to talk to the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio. And Scorpio, this would, well, this is actually happening in your eighth house. This is going on. Wow. So this could be affecting hidden things for you. I mean, the moon is illuminating, isn't it? And the sun, of course. But for you, I mean, it kind of might put a highlight on things that have been hidden, deep hidden things. This could be deep conversations you have with a partner that suddenly come up. I could see that for some Scorpios having deep conversations with their partner. Could be sex or maybe flirtations and sex. I could see that. It could just be money and getting serious about the money. Maybe doing things that help to like investments, strategies, and perhaps talking to a financial planner. Something like that might help with Scorpio right now. So keep that in mind. Next is the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, this is happening in your seventh house because Gemini is your opposite. It's your natural partner. And so it's occurring in your seventh house of partnerships. So your partnerships might be highlighted. If you might suddenly have a partner, maybe you didn't have one before, but now you do, right? You suddenly have an emphasis on those who are partnering with you or in partnership with you. It could also be that enemies. The seventh house is enemies. And a lot of people overlook that. Sometimes our partners can be enemies too, right? But it is the house of open enemies. And so Sagittarius, I wouldn't be surprised if someone comes out openly in, in a way that opposes you. And so I want to let you know that so it doesn't shock you if it should happen because the Gemini is your seventh house. Now it could be partnerships too, or your significant other. The emphasis, all that Taurus stellium I talked about, is happening in your sixth house. So what concerns me is the idea that, because there's a lot of stubbornness going on with that Taurus, is the idea that there's something that could happen, say, at work, and then that work person is the enemy. And, there is nothing worse than having your workmates be the enemies because you have to go into that job every day and deal with that animosity, that energy. So watch out, as far as whatever's going on at work. I would just be careful about what I say. Sagittariuses tend to like to be right. This would be a good time to watch what you say at work if this is an issue. Also, Taurus, or excuse me, the sixth house also rules your health. And so I would want to advise Sagittarius to avoid, like, say, rich foods, sauces, heavy foods, things that could weigh heavily on your body or cause any damage to your body, and try to work out and get lots of sleep. Okay, Saggy. Next, we're going to do the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn, this actually is happening in your sixth house. So, I mean, Gemini is there in your sixth, Capricorn. And so I just sense like there's a lot of maybe mundane things going on, perhaps a lot of administrative tasks, doing a lot of busy work, end quote, busy work, work, but it's just the busy admin part of things, filing and categorizing and organizing and that type of thing. And you might find that you're doing a lot of stuff like that. You might just find that this is just a lot of emphasis on your health. And if this is a time that your health area is illuminated. So if you can find a way to improve your health during this time, that would be perfect, Capricorn. Use this time to improve your health and also to improve the work that you do, Capricorn. I wouldn't, yeah, definitely highlight what you do, because I think you'll shine in your work. And I think you could possibly shine in your health if you take good care of yourself. So next, oh, and by the way, all that Taurus emphasis is happening in your fifth house. So you might find that your fifth house suddenly feels very heavy. A lot happening in your fifth house. So be very careful about what's there. Also, I would be cautious about what's happening in your solar fourth house, because Mars and Jupiter are in the fourth house. And I give you an idea. I woke up and saw there was a little burn in my flooring. And I have no idea when that happened. Something must have smoldered while I was sleeping from a candle or something. That's frightening, but that's Mars and Jupiter in Aries in the fourth house. So I want Capricorns to be particularly careful about what's going on in their fourth house, in their home, and take care of your own self. This is a self-care time. So I hope you take this time, Capricorn, to do the self-care. So next, I'm going to talk to the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius, this is occurring in your fifth house. Your fifth house. And fifth house is the house of love. It's love, it's romance, it's children, it's dancing, it's parties, it's gambling, it's taking a chance, it's being an entrepreneur and putting your dreams to the test. It's being, a champion of your own dreams, your own beliefs, and going for it, taking a chance, going out on a limb, not being afraid to take that chance. Maybe take a chance on love or on that new idea or that new system you created. Whatever it is, this is the time to do it. Also, the emphasis is on your children. And with the sun and the moon there, I sense that this might be a time when you really want to put in a lot of energy with your children. They might be more clingy to you than normal, or need your attention and affection more than normal. So give it to them, okay, Aquarius? So much love to you. I do sense that there is a lot going on in your home life, because all that Taurus is in your home life, Aquarius. So make sure you keep check in on your mother, keep an eye on your home life and things of that nature. So next we're going to talk to the sign of Pisces. And Pisces, this is happening in your fourth house. The fourth house, of course, is the home. It's the family. So this could be affecting your home and family, Pisces. Gemini is a natural square to Pisces. And so I could see where it could be affecting your home life. And that's on an angle as well. I would really make sure everything is going well. I would avoid arguments and just getting over emotional about things at home. Sometimes we do that. We let our hair down and we let the silliest things affect us. But be careful of that, because I think some things might be said or, maybe over embellished or that could cause problems. It could, I don't want to say lies, but I wouldn't want anything to go wrong because of something that was said and affected your family or your home life in some way. So make sure everything's okay there. Let's see here. Oh, and that Taurus is in your third house, Pisces. So I would be cautious about all things in the community, and this includes driving. Next, I'm going to do the sign of Aries. And Aries, and this I think is the last one because I did Taurus earlier. But Aries, this is affecting your, this is, I have here second house. No, your third house, right? This is your third house. So this is your communication house, Aries, right? And so this you're someone, the sun and moon are there. So it's actually less more positive than not, I think, because it's a new moon, it's a new opportunity. Some Aries might be getting a new car. I mean, some Aries might be doing something in their neighborhood, maybe getting involved in some local things, maybe getting out, doing stuff. Because it is Memorial Day weekend. I could see some Aries out and about, barbecuing, doing things, going to the park, enjoying the weather, being in your own society, in your own community, in your own neighborhood, and doing things, doing some short distance travel, stuff like that. Perhaps spending time with family members, extended family like brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews and cousins. I can see all of that occurring for the sign of Aries. Okay. So, you guys, this has just been my take on things because I already did Taurus and told them earlier that it affects their money if you missed that in the beginning. And really what they own, Taurus, right? They might decide to buy some things. And if you do, I think whatever you buy under this time, Taurus, would probably be gorgeous. I really do. I think because the sun's there. And I just saw someone that said hello, a Facebook user. Hello, Facebook user. Hello. So you guys, I didn't want to stay too long. Like I said, I've got all that emphasis down in my fourth house. I'm going to upload those videos of me just keeping it simple, and I'll upload those onto YouTube so you can see them. In the meantime, you can always find those over on Instagram at instagram.com/astrology look inside, and soon you'll be able to find them on YouTube at youtube.com/astrology look inside, and most likely on Facebook at facebook.com/astrology look inside. So you guys, it's been my pleasure. It's just a little something I did tonight. Much love, much light, many blessings to you. And by the way, I'm going to be fixing the event that I wanted to do so that you guys still have an opportunity to come and get live readings with me. But I will be putting that on another platform. So you'll be finding out more about that soon. And I can't wait to share that with you all. Many blessings and have an awesome week and a happy Memorial Day. Talk to you soon, guys.